Hey everyone, welcome back. So in the first part, we discussed about data warehouse from the business point of view, and in this video, we're gonna talk about data warehouse from the technical point of view. So if you haven't watched the part one, then do make sure you first watch that and watch this particular video to understand the difference between data warehouse from the business side and the technical side. So first, you're gonna look at some of the definitions of data warehouse from the technical side. So let's understand data warehouse from the technical point of view. So the definition we have is a data warehouse is a copy of transaction data specifically structured for query and analysis. Now understand this, okay? So in the part one we talked about the data is coming from the multiple sources and it is being getting stored somewhere in the database. So this is our operational database, okay? Or you can say the transactional database. Now we want this particular database, okay, and put some magic in between that. We're gonna do some ETL and build the data warehouse in order to get the query and final analysis, like it can be any graph or any structure, okay? So this definition is mainly focuses on that part. Now let's look at the second definition. In computing, a data warehouse, also known as enterprise data warehouse, the system is used for reporting, data analysis, and it is a core component of business intelligence. So as we talked in our part one, that it is coming from the data is coming from the multiple sources, then it is being stored in our operational data or the transaction database. Then we build some kind of the ETL system in between and build a data warehouse so that we can get analysis at the end. Data warehouse are central repository for integrated data from multiple sources. So this does make sense of what we discussed over here. So now let's understand the data warehouse from the technical point of view. So in the last video, as we discussed, we have data coming from the multiple sources, okay? Now we store this particular data on our transaction system. It can be anything. It can be PostgreSQL, MySQL, MS SQL, or any relational database, okay? Then we do some ETL. Now we're gonna talk about ETL in detail in our demo, so don't worry about it. So ETL is basically our extract, transform, load. We will talk about it now. Then we build a dimensional model. We're gonna talk about dimensional model, what it is, and okay. And then once we build that, we basically build our data warehouse based on that particular model, and then we can directly query on that particular data models to get some analysis, run some query, do multiple joins, and etc. Okay, so what is ETL? ETL is basically we are extracting data from one particular source. So in our case, we have this particular transactional system from where we are like extracting our data, okay? Then second part is T, which is transform. So transform is basically you apply some kind of business logic, or based on your data model or relational dimensional model, you apply some kind of logic using programming language. It can be Python, Java, whatever the programming language, it doesn't matter, or it can be any tool also, such as Alteryx, Informatica, or any other enterprise tool. So we basically transform that particular data and load it into some data warehouse or dimensional model. So let's talk about what is dimensional model. So dimensional model is basically makes it easy for business user to work with data. The reason is that, okay, the relational database we build for the transactional system are spread across multiple tables, okay? And for a business user, okay, who is coming from the business background, it is quite difficult to understand how data is spread and how to do joins and everything, because as a technical person you will be able to understand because you understand what is happening behind, but the business person does not understand that particular thing, okay? And also, as in our transaction system, it is quite difficult to get the query performance, and the technologies used for storing a dimensional model are completely different from the technologies used in a traditional, and that is basically a data warehouse. Now let's talk about this particular part, which is basically a business user facing application. It can be any BI tool such as Power BI, QuickSight, Data Studio, Tableau, or anything, okay? So basically those tools gets connected to data warehouse and can show some final insights. So why do we need dimensional modeling in the first place? Because it makes data too easy to understand, and it is really good for the analytical queries, okay? So we have basically two diagrams over here. One is the design on a star schema, okay, joins with the dimensional only, and a good with OLAP and not OLTP. So basically we have let me zoom this little bit so that you guys can see. So as you can see, we have our fact table in between. We're going to talk about the fact table and dimension table, and we have multiple dimension across. So this kind of structure is good for OLAP only, because you can get the faster query performance and you don't need to do multiple joins in order to get the final outcome. Now we have our this relational data model. So if you don't know the data model, you can watch the data model series. So we have this on the 3NF, okay? So we're going to talk about 3NF in the future, but just understand that data is spread across multiple tables. If you can just understand this particular model, this because so let's say if you want to get some kind of business logic from this particular graph, okay, then it will be really expensive joins, because you will have to join multiple tables that are spread across like different location in order to get the final outcome. And if you try to explain this to a business person, okay, who is coming from like MBA background or just has like no technical understanding, okay, he will get lost and he won't understand anything what we are trying to explain. Okay, so it is quite difficult to explain this particular thing to business users. So that is the reason, okay, we have like the dimensional model, and there are like different dimensional models we're going to talk about. So let's understand what are fact and dimension tables. Okay, so it's quite easy. Okay, the fact tables shows the actual fact, so it can be like the order that has come, okay, a phone call, a book review, or any primary key that is being joined to other tables. Okay, fact table column record events recorded in quantifiable metrics like an item, duration of call, or book ratings. Okay, these are the values, such as mostly are integers kind of thing. We're going to talk about how to identify fact and dimension, but just understand this kind of data are stored in fact tables. And dimension table record like business events such as who, what, where, why, etc. Like dimension column contains attributes like store at which item purchased, okay, or the customer who made the call. So these are like the extra information attached with that particular order. Okay, so how to identify fact or dimension column? For the fact, if you're unsure if the column is fact or dimension, then simple rule is it is usually numeric or additive. So what it means, so here are some example of facts. Okay, so a comment on any article, okay, is an event, but you cannot directly extract some kind of statistics out of it, so it is not a good fact. Okay, invoice number is numeric, but adding to invoice number does not make sense. Okay, so it is not a good fact. Total amount of invoice can be added to a computer to get the total sales, so this can be considered as a fact. Now these are some example of dimensions. Okay, so we have date and time, always a dimension. Physical location or their attributes, human roles like customer, staff, HR, etc. Okay, and products sold are always good candidate for dimension tables. So this is basically how you identify the fact and dimension table, and you will understand more about it when we basically do our demo. But for the now, just understand why we use dimensional modeling rather than using the transactional system in order to get the analytical process. Now let's talk about the example. Okay, so this is basically the hello world of data warehouse, and you will find this particular data set online. I will provide the link in the description so you can download this. So this is a Salika dataset, basically a DVD Rendell sample database. Okay, this is being used almost everywhere. So now let's answer this particular question. Okay, how easy it is for you to understand this particular database schema. So let me zoom this a little bit. Are you able to understand this particular database schema? Now if you're a beginner, might be quite complicated, but this looks pretty straightforward. Okay, so if we go, so the answer is not, it is not that complicated since it is small, but it is not simple for business user because there are a lot of joins and tables and a lot of columns. Okay, so now the next question is, are you able to identify the candidate for the fact table? Now if we zoom this, okay, and try to identify what can be the columns for the fact table, so you need to you can pause this video and try to guess it. Okay, but I will tell you the answer, which is basically we can use the rental ID because rental date can be in the dimension, so it is not a fact. We can use the payments, okay, number of payments has been made in the last orders or anything. Okay, so those are the candidates for our fact table, so basically the rentals and the payments. And so can you spot the candidates for the dimension table? Again, the same thing. If we talked about any dates, okay, so last update date, payment date can be our dimension table. Then our basically pictures, address ID, all those things are stored into our dimension table. Now so basically customer, store, staff, and film. Okay, so here you can see we have like two schema. One is the schema based on the relational model, which is called as the 3NF schema, and the another one we have is based on the star schema. We're gonna talk about what star schema is in our next video. So as you can see, the structure of this particular schema is based on like fact table, and all the other tables are dimension tables. So as you can see over here on the fact table, we have like sales key, date key, movie key. Most are those are the key and the amount that can be computed. And on the dimension table you can see it's the date, year, like date key on the date table. In the movie we have title, description. These are the columns that does not define any kind of statistics, because you cannot get anything from the title or the description or the release or anything. Okay, so we're gonna talk about this particular thing in the next, and we're gonna do an exercise where we will basically convert this 3NF schema into the star schema. But make sure before jumping onto this particular exercise, you need to understand what data model is. So first watch the data model series, then watch the part 1 of this particular series, and then watch, if you have watched it, then you can jump onto the another exercise. So in the next video we're going to look into our exercise, and we will be basically doing our ETL onto the PostgreSQL and build our dimensional model onto the PostgreSQL. So see you in the next video. Thank you.